Today with Stuart Palmer, who is the creator and host to Stu's Wrestling Podcast. Today I'm here with Stu to talk about the impact of podcasting on mental health and how it affects people in different ways. Stu, how do you feel podcasting is benefiting mental health?
It's giving people an outlet, Connor. You know, there's not enough people within mental health to treat people, to help people. People are waiting, and it's an outlet for people. You know, if you're into a certain topic or anything, any kind of sport, and you find a podcast wherever it may be, a football podcast, wrestling podcast, a live podcast, it's there. I think it's an avenue for people. It's a great outlet. It really is, Connor.
Yeah, absolutely, Stu. And Stu, who do you tend to target with your podcast? Obviously, you've got the wrestling fans, but is there a particular audience you seem to have coming in?
Young and old, really. But what I'd say people around my age, because when wrestling was in its heyday, you could say in the 80s, even well into 90s, at different times, different eras, it'd definitely be people in that 30 plus demographic. But what I would say is it's appealing to a wide range of people as well. It's quite broad, but yeah, if I had to encase it into a demographic, I would say 30 plus, maybe mid late 20s, 30 plus, I would say is my core audience.
Yeah, 100%. And like you tend to have quite large audiences coming on. Do you have like an average number you tend to bring on, Stu, yourself?
In audio form, it's well into the thousands, which is amazing. YouTube's a bit harder. It hasn't had the momentum, but obviously we've charted on Apple extensively. I've charted all over the world with it. So obviously I think the core audience is definitely in audio form. So yeah, it's been amazing. It really has. And you know, when I get messages, comments, and stuff like that in the different avenues where we are, it's amazing. A lot of positivity. Some people probably don't like it, but I think in the main, I've appealed to people, especially in terms of the format I've done. You know, it's an interview format. That's how it's always been. Other guys will come in and they will go over a card of like 10 matches that's been on like a pay-per-view, say a WrestleMania. I've never been about that. It's not my wheelhouse as such. We'll come in and talk about a few matches here and there, but it's been very much like one-to-one interviews, finding out about my guests, you know, the interviewee. That's always been what I've been about since 2019 with it, Connor.
And obviously, it's been amazing for you considering you've just hit your 5-year mark. How do you feel about it? Are you excited to see what the future brings? And
I am, mate. We've had some bumps in the road along the way. I think just me being me wanting it to be. I put a lot of pressure on myself. I heap a lot of pressure on myself. So there's been a few times where I've had a little hiatus here and there. There's been times when I thought about packing it in, which I'm glad I haven't, because I think 2024 has been fantastic. Every year's been great, but 2024, the guests I've had on, the caliber of guests this year so far, you know, into May has been incredible. I'm glad I didn't stop it. You know, going back to your earlier point, how you open this piece, it's my mental health. It's what drives me doing this, as are my other shows that I do as well. It's from a mental health standpoint, I've got to have it. You know, I don't go to the gym, so my serotonin comes from doing this, if you like.
Yeah, 100%. And what do you feel like for yourself mentally, if you're not doing it, it feels like there's something wrong in your life, or there's something not quite going?
Yeah, there's something right. Missing. There's something missing. There's something awry. Initially, Connor, I'll go back. The first 12 months, I got very nervous before coming on. I heaped a lot of pressure on myself, did a lot of note taking, a lot of bullet pointing and stuff like that. Once I got past the year, that dissipated. I think I got my confidence, and you know, it's gone from strength to strength from there. But initially, you know, if I was going to say about advice for people, nerves are good. I think when you're first starting out, you can use nerves in a good way. You know, sometimes people talk about nerves negatively, but the nerves did help me as well, if that makes sense.
100%.
Do you know what I'm saying?
And like, it's brought you along to then having obviously your football podcast, and then you've obviously linked up with Chris, who seems an incredible person to be working alongside. Are you like, have you been working for him for long, Stu, or working with him?
We did. We had Big Fight Weekly, which was part of Powered 4 TV. They're no longer in existence, but we were supported by the owners of that. And I went to them because they had the platform. They had all sorts going on. They were predominantly wrestling, but we came in with an MMA and boxing show, which we did probably 18 months to 2 years. I came away. Chris carried on for a bit. Again, it charted in not just sport charts. It went in the mainstream charts, that show.
Amazing.
And it was great. It was great, but I think we hit a ceiling with it, and we worked that out. Probably we were talking about recently before we started the football soccer one, and we said we hit the ceiling without knowing at the time when we packed it in. But it's been great with Chris. It's been superb, mate. Honestly, we're linked, we're bonded because we're cousins, but we're brothers as well. There's only 3 months difference between me and him. We're inseparable. So we've got that nucleus, me and him together. You can't, you throw 2 people together, Connor. It might not necessarily work because we know each other inside out and backwards. It works. And the football show's been amazing, Connor. I'll let you speak now. But yeah, the football show, it's still in its infancy. Again, we've already charted on Apple, and we only started in February.
Yeah, and then my final question to you, which I'm going to link back to the wrestling podcast. I want you to give me your favorite guest you've had on recently, or throughout the years of 5 years you've had. Who is your favorite guest you've had on?
There's been so many. They've all been brilliant. I'm not gonna say, this one was better, because I've had honestly, I've had ex-WWE, ex-AW, TNA, a lot of legends from the business as well that have come on. Jacques Rougeau, if I just have to pinpoint one person, not saying it was my favorite episode against all the others, but we've become friends. I watched Jacques as the Mountie. From 90 onwards, he was in the business for years. I've done 4 episodes with him now over the last couple of years, and we've become friends. Now, if you'd have told me I was going to be friends with the Mountie, a guy I watched on the screen, I would have said hell no, because I used to hate him. I hated the Mountie, and I've told him this. But yeah, I'd say Jacques Rougeau, the Mountie, because we've become very good friends off the back of it, which is the ultimate for me. But a lot of the guys within the industry, Connor, that I've looked up to and watched for years, they've been very positive about the show and enjoyed being on. So that's the ultimate for me. That's the ultimate.
Amazing, Stu. I really appreciate your time today, Stu. And it's been really good talking to you. Thank you so much.